This is the Sleeper Hold Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sleeper Hole Podcast, where there is no disqualification on the topics and falls count anywhere. I am your host, Priest, and this is one of our prediction panel episodes. It's actually what I'm going to call the prediction panel episode. Why do I say that? Because we are talking about the pay-per-view of the year, the biggest event in sports entertainment, WrestleMania. And for me to have my guest today for WrestleMania 32, we have a recurring guest, one of my good friends, the Analyst, Robert Leach. And then we have two newcomers right here. First off, we have Taylor Phoenix.
And
then we have Jacob Misner.
Misner,
my bad, but still we got Jacob right here. And we do actually have another guest who is not here right now, but they should be on their way. So when they do get here, we'll get them caught up. We did this last time with, having Ramsey. Not a big deal. But let me explain real quick to my fans what we're going to be doing. You may have all seen my post about a game card, and you can still get that. And I'm going to make sure I put that link with this podcast episode as well. I made a special little game card for WrestleMania because it is the event. So pretty much, plain and simple, you can get that game card, you can see not only the matches, but a few of those fun stipulations or situations, and you can play along, but that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to go down that list, boys and girls, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this. First and foremost, though, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday was NXT TakeOver Dallas, and I said yesterday during my little messages on social media, and I'm going to say it again, NXT has raised the bar of expectations, and WrestleMania has a lot of expectations if they're going to do better than NXT yesterday. What do you guys think? How about you, Leach?
Oh, geez, yeah, the expectations were raised so high.
That was a good one.
Bailey Hutchinson, I believe it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And also Asuka versus Bailey, Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin.
It was just a great card altogether. What about you, Jacob? How'd you feel about that show?
It was pretty good. It's a far high for WrestleMania 22 with all their injuries. Personally, wasn't a fan of Bailey losing the title, but
I don't think any of us were.
Bailey losing her title is a probable cause for her probably getting the main roster.
That's what I'm theorizing too, is that it may be for the next step to move her up into the roster. But it broke my heart too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a hugger. I'm Bailey's fan. Taylor, what do you feel about last night's show?
Honestly, like Jake said, Bailey losing the title really was heartbreaking, but I can see the bigger picture, and she's done everything she can do in NXT. It's time for her to move up to the main roster.
I can agree with you there. I think the one thing that Bailey really did enjoy, though, with NXT, and I found this out by watching Breaking Ground, is that she liked the fact that she could help train and help push the newer people. But like you said, besides that, she's done all she can do. The only other thing that I personally was expecting Finn Balor to lose, so they would push him up. They haven't done that, so who knows what's going to happen. But I would not be surprised if the Demon does show up on Raw or SmackDown here in the near future. Now, speaking of all that, tomorrow is going to be insane. Tonight is the Hall of Fame induction. I'm not going to go too much into the Hall of Fame. I already did a whole series on it. And some of the inductions they've had this year I don't fully agree with, so we're going to skip all that nonsense. Let's get to the nitty-gritty, boys and girls. Let's talk about the matches. First and foremost, we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This is the third year. It's an over-the-top battle royal, and usually it consists of 30 people. So far, we only know that 20 are going to be in, so I don't know if they're going to keep it at 20 or if we have 10 people we haven't announced yet. But so far, we have Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, Big Show, Kane, Tyler Breeze, Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, Fandango, Damian Sandow, Darren Young, Connor, Victor, Goldust, and R-Truth. First off, Taylor, who do you think's going to win this one?
Honestly, I think it's going to be a surprise entrance.
You're thinking surprise.
It hasn't been announced yet.
Okay, I can see that. That's pretty interesting. What about...
A lot of rumors going around that a lot of different people are showing up in Dallas.
You know, and I've heard those rumors, and I've seen some of those predictions for surprise entrance when I looked over the Las Vegas stakes to see what humorous type of stakes they have, because Vegas will bet on anything, and I just want to see what they're going to do for WrestleMania. Jacob, who do you think is going to win this thing?
I'm with Taylor on this one, surprise entrance.
All right.
One thing I really heard is that they're going to give Braun Strowman a huge push. I think it's going to start.
You know, I could see that. Braun is a beast. Leach.
Now, on that note, I did hear that they mixed those plans of giving Braun Strowman that push.
I heard that also.
I agree, it could be a surprise because like Cesaro is a likely candidate to be in there.
Yeah.
But who I'm going with right now is Mark Henry.
You're going for the world's strongest man. All right, I like that. Me, I'm going to be the oddball on this one. I'm going for Sandow. I like Sandow. Sandow is incredible last year. It was a shame that after all the things that the fans got behind him on, they let him fall to the wayside. I think the WWE may have caught their mistake, and they may try to push him back up because the fans loved Sandow last year. Now, who do you guys think will be the first to be eliminated? And try to keep it within those 20 that we know, please. Let's start with Leach.
I'm going with Bo Dallas. Last year was Curtis Axel. This year's going to be another member of the Social Outcasts.
So you believe that Bo Dallas will be the first to be eliminated. All right. Jacob, what about you, man?
I'm going to go with Adam Rose.
Going with another of the Social Outcasts. All right. And Taylor.
I think it's going to be one of the two of the Ascension.
Connor or Victor? Okay, we got to narrow it down for our game here. Which one do you think?
I think it's going to be Connor.
All right, going with Connor. I'm going to say Fandango, only because I don't like Fandango. So we're going to go with that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so now let's keep it going here. We already know who you guys think is going to be the final. Who do you think is going to be the other person to make it to the final two? Jacob, go for it.
I'm going to go with Mark Henry in the final two.
All right. And Taylor.
I think it's going to be Swagger.
Swagger, all right. And let's see here. Leach, what do you think?
I think it's going to be the battle of the strongmen, Mark Henry and the Big Show. That's who wins.
That could be interesting. They used to be tag team partners just like Kane and Big Show used to be, so who knows? Me, again, I'm going against the grain. I'm going to say my boy R-Truth because I think for once R-Truth is going to, at first he's going to be like, I'm not in this battle royal. And then when they finally get reminded, he'll be like, oh, my bad. He's going to get in there. He's going to surprise everybody. And I think that his buddy Goldust is going to help him out. And hey, there he is. My other guest right there, Alex. How you doing, buddy? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my friend Alex here is having a little bit of technical difficulty, it looks like. He'll get that set up here in just a second, and we'll get his predictions on this. But, you know, let's talk about that real quick while we're letting him get his mic and everything set up. Alex, when you get all set, just chime in, just talk. We'll make sure that we can hear you. The R-Truth and Goldust. Let's talk about that real quick, because I just want to make sure we have fun with this. Do you guys want to see Gold and Truth team up or not? Leach.
You know, I'd like to see it kind of form and then say R2 off Goldust the match. Goldust kicks him to the curb. And you think, well, I can't find anyone tag team partner. And I had Stardust, but that didn't work. And so bring back Cody Rhodes or something.
I don't think they're going to come back, but that's an interesting prediction there. What about you, Jacob?
No.
No.
They have some of the funniest promos behind Dean Ambrose. And I really think that they could do something. No, I don't see no tag titles in the future, but I see them being at least a decent tag team.
All right, and Taylor.
Honestly, I don't think they should team up. I think they should just continue with these promos or whatever they're doing right now. This comic won't be gold.
See, I like the promos. But the reason why I like the promos is the same reason why I want them to be a team. These promos remind me of another great team that Goldust was part of, and that's Goldust and Booker T. I want to see another great team like that, so I am all for the Golden Truth. Alright, so we got real quick now. While we're waiting for our buddy Alex here, we're going to move to the next one. Like I said, Alex, when you are able to get your mic working and everything else, we will catch up with you. I want to make sure we do get your predictions. It's very important. But I want to move to the 5-on-5 Divas Tag Team match. We have Team Total Divas with Paige, Brie Bella, Natalya, Alicia Fox, and Eva Marie versus Team Bad and Blondes, which is Naomi, Tamina, Emma, Summer Rae, and Lana. Who's going to win this one, guys? Let's start with Jacob.
Team Soul Divas is going to win it. I just think Team Bad and Blonde. Emma made a Raw return. Other than that, their whole roster, their whole team is filled with newbies or jobbers, honestly.
All right, Leach.
I'm going with Total Divas. They're going to win this. It's a great chance that it's Brie Bella's last match, because there was rumors that she'll be retiring this Monday on Raw. So I think Total Divas is going to go over the back one.
All right, and then we have Taylor.
Total Divas, just because it's the most obvious choice. Plus, like Leach said, Brie Bella is most likely retiring, and plus Natalya also deserves her big WrestleMania moment too.
Heck yeah, she does, and that's the number one reason, as anybody who knows me knows, that's the number one reason why I'm going for Team Total Divas. It's got my girl Natalya in there. Plus, don't get me wrong, they got a lot of great talent. No offense, but I am kind of bummed that they have Eva Marie in there. I'm not a fan of Eva Marie, but you can't win them all. Let's just put it that way. You can't win them all. So she's in there. She's in there. Whoop-de-doo. As long as she doesn't mess anything up royally, that's cool. So who is going to score the decisive pinfall or submission? Taylor.
I'm gonna go with Daddy. She's gonna finish it off with the signature dark suit.
That's what I'm talking about. Right there, I'm agreeing with you 100%. I'm going for my girl Natalya. Leach, where are you going with this?
Knowing WWE, how they like to try to shove people down our throat if we don't like them they want us to, they're going to have Eva Marie take home the win. With that sliced red, whatever it is, that you can't even get any height off of.
Good theory, and I can see what you're saying there, so who knows? Not Taylor, Jacob.
I think it's just going to be it's going to be simple and to the point, because it seems just like a filler match trying to get the crowd going. I think they're just going to have Paige win it, with the pinfall.
Alrighty, and let's see here. On that, though, I do kind of want to ask you guys this one thing here. You see a lot of things on both teams. This isn't even actually on the game sheet for boys and girls listening. It's just something I want to bring up because each team has their own people that are not too trustworthy or that like to stir the pot. Do you see anybody causing that type of tension and really almost messing it up for their team on this pay-per-view? Leach, you go ahead.
Oh, geez. Now you see, I said April Marie is going to score the decisive pin. She might actually cause some tension here. Considering that she's on the bad side down in NXT, I don't think it's really realistic that they just bring her up and put her on the good side immediately and expect everyone to like her. So if anyone, it's probably going to be Eva Marie.
All right. Taylor, what do you think?
Going from past experience, I'm going with Paige.
Going with Paige doing it. I like that only because Paige has been known. She is notorious. All right. Jacob.
Going back to the Dolph Ziggler and Rusev rivalry, I think it's going to be between Lana and Summer Rae and positive tension.
You know, that would be interesting TV right there. I will give you that. Me, really? I feel like if anything's gonna happen, it's either gonna be, like you said, Summer Rae and Lana, or I see that somehow Alicia Fox and Eva Marie are gonna butt heads. I really see it being one of those combinations and being just a complete hot mess. Let's move on to the next match. It's the United States Championship. We have Ryback, the big guy, versus the Luchador Pinball, the human pinball, however you want to phrase him. Ryback versus Kalisto, U.S. Championship. Who's going to win this one? Leach, you start us off.
I've got Kalisto for this one, and I'm going to do what he's done at a lot of live events, where he does absolutely horrible and is just not there until the very end, where he hits that devastating Toledo del Sol out of nowhere and takes home the win.
Okay, so you're expecting the comeback story.
Yeah.
All right. Taylor.
I'm kind of torn on this one because I really like Kalisto, but I see them giving Ryback a push. I'm going with Kalisto.
Going with Kalisto. All right. And Jacob.
Just because Ryback is starting to look too much like Goldberg, I'm going to go with Kalisto.
Careful now. Don't make me laugh too much now. I just got done having bronchitis, so I still got that cough if I laugh too hard. I'm going to say Kalisto myself, only because I really like Kalisto. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ryback's a good wrestler. He is a bit stiff. He does have a history of injury causing. But overall, I do have a lot of liking for Ryback. But Kalisto is just so impressive when he's in that ring. I really do like Kalisto. And I like the underdog. I like the little man in the stories. Like we saw, Ryback, he really started this whole thing because he kind of broke away from Kane and Big Show when they were doing a 3-on-3 matches and everything else. And Ryback's like, you gotta look out for yourself. You gotta take your own path. And so he's really started to act almost like a heel, but not completely doing a full heel turn. So the real question is, do you guys think that Ryback is going to use any heel tactics this time? Hey, there he is, Alex. What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, Alex, this is one of my guests here. He is also one of my good buddies that I have talked to back and forth on Twitter, one of my fallen angels who listens to the podcast. Welcome to the prediction panel, my friend.
I've been listening, I just haven't been able to talk, but all good stuff so far.
All right, we're going to catch you up here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and finish this quick question, though. What do you guys think? Leach, go ahead and start with the idea. Do you think that Ryback will use any heel tactics?
Yes, I do. I think stuff like choking him against the ropes, or smacking him on the head, maybe trying to pull the mask off a little bit, stuff like
I hope he doesn't pull the mask, because that's one thing that gets under my skin the most. Taylor, what do you think?
I think because Kalisto's so over with the crowd, I think it's only obvious that he will.
All right. And Jacob?
Yeah, he'll definitely pin Kalisto in the corner. Make sure to utilize that 5 count.
Okay.
He'll definitely try to take that mask off.
All right, you guys are all saying he's going to be heel. I'm going to say no, not this time. Well, nah. Yeah, he probably will. I don't think he's going to do the mask, but he may do like an eye gouge or try to use the ropes for leverage when he's trying to do a pin or something like that. You know, the classic heel things. Nothing that's too big nowadays. Now, let's go ahead and rewind real quick because I want to make sure we get Alex's predictions. Alex, we're going to start from the very top of this. We have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We know that there's a few official contenders. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Close. I'll try to go close. I want Goldust to win. I don't think he will, but I want that Goldust R-Truth, as you guys were saying.
That's what I'm talking about. The golden truth.
I think Paige is going to get the pin for the 5-on-5 Diva.
All right. Now, backing up to the Andre, though, real quick.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to be first eliminated? See, I had to throw the curveball in there.
Yeah. I want to see Big Show or King go out first.
Wow. All right. Well, you said that you're going for Goldust. Who's Goldust's final two going to be? Him and who?
Maybe like Swagger.
Goldust and Swagger.
Throwing things out there.
That'd be an interesting one. I like that. That'd be interesting. Absolutely.
Maybe Goldust and R-Truth.
That would be an interesting twist too, because then you'd really have to see what happens with that whole Golden Truth possibility. All right, now moving on, because you said that you think Paige is going to make the decisive score for Team Total Divas. I like that. That's pretty cool. Ryback and Kalisto, who's going to take it there?
I think it was Taylor who said. I think Ryback's getting a push, but I think Kalisto's going to win. I think it might lead Ryback to go ultimate heel after Ryback loses to Kalisto.
So you think it's going to use some heel tactics?
I think so. And I think it's going to really push him to heel after this.
All right. You know, I could see that. Ryback kind of needs a establishment. He really could. He had an establishment for a while there as a face, but it kind of started to fall to the wayside, so I think they are going to make him do a jump. I'm not going to disagree there at all. Now, moving on. I am going to have Alex start this one off. We have the Usos versus the Dudleys. This has been an interesting one because the Dudleys sabotage attacked the Usos, put them through tables, and then they vowed to never use a table again, but yet they keep pulling out tables to cause distractions, while the Usos are retaliating, and they are using tables to send a clear message back to the Dudleys. Who do you think is going to win this one, Alex?
This one is one of the most interesting on the cards, I think, because they both need a win so bad. I think both teams have just kind of been flopping along. I think I'm going to have to go Usos though. I think the Dudleys will pull the table out.
Going Uso crazy on it. All right, Leach, what do you think?
I think the Usos are going to win because you see the Dudleys and the Dudleys couldn't really one-sided with the Dudleys on the winning side of the feud. For so long, I think the Usos are going to pull off.
All right. Taylor.
As much as I like the Usos, I heard a rumor earlier this year that the Dudleys were supposed to win the tag titles tomorrow night. So I guess that's not happening. But I think I'll go Usos.
Gonna go Usos. All right. And then we got Jacob.
I think the Usos are going to get it. And I also think they're going to be ones to utilize the tables as well. I think they're just going to flip the tables, pun intended, or flip the tables on the Dudleys.
All right, so you're going to lead up right to the next question. I'm going to real quickly cut there. I'm agreeing that I think the Usos are going to win. I am agreeing that a table will be used. Someone's going to be put through it. But here's how I'm seeing it. The Dudleys are actually going to set up the tables. They're finally going to go back to their old ways. But like you said, the tables are going to be turned. They're going to set them up, but they're going to set them up and end up being ones put through them. Taylor, who do you think is? Do you think the tables are going to be used, or somebody's going to be put through the table?
Oh yeah, totally. Like, total obvious that somebody, whether a member of the Usos or Dudley, is going through a table.
Somebody's getting wood, huh? What about you, Leach?
Well, of course there's going to be a table out. It's the greatest stage of them all. Let's say waste this moment by not using a table. I think the Dudleys are going to be put through the table with 5-star frog.
5-star frog. Wow, you're calling even a move on it.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, and Alex, what do you think, my friend?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the Dudley's going to pull the tables out after the match.
Oh, you're thinking after the match as like a revenge act.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. We have Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles. We had Y2AJ for a while there. One of the good tag teams I've seen formed in a while. I was really hoping they'd stay around. Of course, WWE doesn't always give us what we want, but now we have a good feud. We have the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, the first guy to be the unified unified heavyweight champion. He has been a tag team champion before. He's pretty much done it all. And then we have the phenomenal AJ Styles. These two have gone back and forth. They've already had 3 great matches. This is, I think, number 4. And who do you think is going to win, Jacob?
I'm going to go with AJ Styles.
Going with AJ. And go ahead and answer the next part. Pin, submission, or DQ?
Submission. He's gonna finish Chris Jericho with his little calf crusher thing he has.
All right. And Leach, what do you think?
I think, since it's his first WrestleMania, he's taking home the win. And of course, how could you make it a bigger win than to make Chris Jericho tap out?
All right. Alex, what do you think?
I've got to agree with everybody so far. I love how they've set up this match, though. How generic their first few fights were, and then now I really don't know who's going to win, but I think AJ is coming out on top.
Taylor,
I'm going with my boy AJ.
are you going for AJ with pin or submission?
I think he's going to pull out a Styles clash, and then he's going to set up the calf crusher.
All right, looks like I'm the only one going against the grain on this one. I'm going to stick with the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, Y2J. Even though AJ is so over right now, they're not going to let this die out so easily. They're going to let Jericho win it. There may be some dirty tactics. We are talking about Jericho, a veteran. But Jericho is going to put the walls of Jericho and make AJ tap out, or even make AJ be passed out before he puts the walls in, so that AJ can't, officially get out of the hold. So I'm going to go against the grain with this one. We're going to see what happens, but I like that. I like going against the grain on this one. And I have to agree with Alex on this one. They have really set this up in the best way. I mean, this is almost like a classic setup for a great rivalry pay-per-view match. Kind of like what they used to do back in the Monday Night Wars. So I really am looking forward to this match. Now, we got the Divas Championship. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte. First of all, who is going to win this one? Alex.
I'm going Charlotte for this one.
Going for Charlotte. All right. Leach.
I'm going to say Sasha Banks steals the title, and I'll just go ahead and answer everything.
Oh, no. Hold on now. Hold on. Taylor.
As much as I would love to see Becky win it, I think the announcement of Snoop Dogg going into the Hall of Fame and him just so happened to be Sasha's cousin, I think that almost guarantees that Sasha will win.
All right. And then we have, of course, Jacob. What you thinking?
I gotta go with the same principle as Taylor, but I think Sasha's gonna get it. I think she's just gonna be an overwhelming force in the ring, and she's gonna get the win.
Again, I'm gonna be the only one going for it, but I'm going for my girl Bex. Becky is gonna take it. I call me a sucker for redheads, call me a sucker for the ultimate nerds, but I'm going for my girl Becky. And now,
As much as I would love to see that, I just don't see it happening.
I can agree with you. It's going to be a tough match, and I do like the fact that you're talking about Snoop Dogg, because I could see Snoop Dogg playing a factor. More than likely, though, is to stop Ric Flair, which leads to our next question. How many times do you guys think Ric Flair is going to get involved in this match? Go ahead, Taylor.
Too many times.
Gotta give me a number, buddy.
I'd say 2 or 3.
Okay, Jacob, what do you think?
You don't have to come up with an exact number. I don't have enough feeding years on my hand to count. I think he's going to interrupt the match 4 times.
4 times. All right, Alex, what about you? What do you think about Flair?
I was gonna say 4, but I'm gonna double down and go 5.
Gonna double down. All right, and then, of course, Leach.
Just gonna put it simply 2. He's gonna interfere 2 times. Once with Becky, once with Sasha.
I'm going to go with 3 because I'm going to bounce off that Snoop Dogg thing. I think it's going to go 3 times before Snoop finally has enough with it. The referee's going to have enough with it, and he's going to evict Flair from the match after the 3rd interference. Now,
I remember seeing. Does anybody see Flair accidentally distracting Charlotte?
you know, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to give you props on that one. That would be interesting. All right, so we all know who we think was gonna win this. Who do you think's gonna go? Who do you think's gonna put them over? I'm gonna say Banks is gonna put Becky over. Leach, who do you think?
Well, you kind of just stole my prediction there, Sasha. I think Charlotte a little storyline where I didn't really lose my title because I wasn't the one to win the match.
So you're going the mirror image of me. I'm going Becky over Sasha. You're going Sasha over Becky. I like that. You and I are going to have fun with this one. Alex, go ahead.
I'm gonna just go mirror image of him. I think Charlotte over Becky.
Charlotte over Becky. Oh, nice. Taylor.
Sasha over Charlotte.
Sasha over Charlotte. Man, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is probably going to be the most talked about match tomorrow. You know that, right, guys? Jacob, go for it.
I think I'm going to go with Taylor. That's what he's going to be. I think Ric Flair is going to somehow make an accidental interference, and then Sasha's going to lock in the Banks statement. Locks her back to her.
So it's going to be Sasha over Charlotte, huh? Last question for this one. It's a simple yes or no, guys. Will the title be renamed to Women's Championship that night? There's been a lot of rumor about it being renamed, but do you think it'll be that exact night? Leach.
Yes and no, because I think it will be renamed, but it'll be renamed the next night on Raw.
Okay, so you're saying not that night. All right. Alex.
Yeah, not that night.
Taylor.
No, not till Raw.
Jacob.
Not for all, they're going to get a new title and they're going to name it the Women's Division, not the Championship Division.
I'm going to say yes for this one, only because I could see Stephanie walking out with this whole risk of the authority and everything else going on with the big storylines here. I could see Stephanie walking out as one last defiant act and saying that she is going to authorize it to be renamed and that it'll be a women's championship with a title revealed the following day. So that way it's already announced, but it's just not fully revealed a new belt. Now, let's move on to another one. And this is one that I think people are going to get a good laugh with when it comes to me. The League of Nations versus the New Day. This is really, actually, I have to say kudos to Edge and Christian because they had that little banter with the New Day, and then they turn around, and then the New Day and League of Nations had a banter while Edge was making it rain on top of Big E while he was doing his little gyrating, which to me was hilarious. Alex, who do you think is going to win this match?
You know I'm a big New Day fan. I'm thinking New Day on this one.
Jacob.
New Day.
All right. Taylor.
Even though I couldn't think it to begin with, I'm going New Day. They've really grown on me.
And now Robby. Well, you never know.
It is 4-on-3. So you do have to understand. But I really think the New Day, I mean, they might pull a surprise on it and have a special fourth participant for their team come out.
Well, you never know.
But I think it's going to be the New Day either way.
And here you go. This is my little prediction for it. Alex, make sure you're sitting down here, because for once, I'm actually rooting for the New Day on this one. Like I said, I don't like a lot of the booty jokes. I like New Day as a talented group, but a lot of their jokes and everything else, it does get old to me. But what they have done so far with the League of Nations has been comedy gold. Plus, I just can't stand the League of Nations. I want to see New Day win this one. I am all for New Day on this. My wife has already given me a dirty look when I told her that, which, you know what, that's fine. I'll sleep on the couch if I have to. But on top of that, I am going to say that Francesca 2 will survive this match. Alex, what do you think?
I think so, and I think they're going to turn face pretty hard and then do a big celebration afterwards. Francesca center stage, of course.
Robert, do you think Francesca is going to survive?
Yeah, she's staying there. She's not going anywhere.
Taylor, Francesca 2, what do you think?
Yep, she survived.
And Jacob.
I'm going to steal Priest's thunder on this one. I'm going to find her with Fran. I don't think she's going to survive.
You don't think Francesca's going to make it, huh?
No, it's still on 3. I think one of them is going to come out. One of them's going to get off the ring and come over there and attack Xavier, because he's the only one that plays Francesca. And they're just going to start getting out, like I hope they do.
I could see that. Who would you be hoping to break Francesca? Sheamus, okay. I was expecting you to say Alberto Del Rio or Rusev, but okay, Sheamus. Let's go to this is another matches that I'm looking forward to, though. We're going to move on. The Intercontinental Championship match. Now, I've always been a fan of the IC title. I feel like it gets underhyped and underappreciated, but it definitely is a great title. This time we have a ladder match yet again on a WrestleMania, but this time it's Kevin Owens defending it against Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, The Miz, and new into the big main roster, Sami Zayn. Robert, analyze this for me. Who do you think's going to win?
Well, the analyst says that Sami Zayn is going to take Kevin Owens to the final 56
All right, Alex.
I'm going Owens. I think he's going to retain.
Owens is going to retain his yearbook. Taylor.
I'm going for the X Factor. I'm going Ziggler.
Zigzag. All right. And then Jacob.
I'm going with Ziggler. It's going to be too much for Sammy to do a double duty this weekend. And it'd be nice for Kevin Owens to drop the title and go for a WWE title push.
I'm going to go with Zayn. I think that they want him to do double duty to show his endurance and show everything else. I'm going to say Zayn's going to do it. Now, I'm going to do these next two questions back to back on you guys. Who's going to touch the belt first, and who's going to take the first big bump off the top of the ladder? So, Robert, what do you think?
First person to touch the title with a very nice quick miss, like last year when Daniel Bryan was about to pull it down. He ran out there real quick, got the headbutt, got a lot of good.
All right, who's going to take the first big bump off the top? Ziggler's going to bump it. All right. I'm in full agreement with you here. Ziggler's going to be the first to touch it, and Ziggler's going to be the first to bump. And I think it's going to be early on. And after that, it's going to be a while before anybody else gets close to that belt. Alex, who do you think?
I have to agree with that, yeah. Ziggler on both accounts, and yeah, early on.
And the reason why I'm going also with Ziggler, guys, is Ziggler has the experience. He has the endurance. He's been there, done that. He should have a T-shirt for it. Taylor, who do you think?
I think Zayn's going to be the first to touch it, and I agree. I think Ziggler's going to take the bump.
And Jacob.
Just because, for some reason, I am a fan of him. I think the first person to touch it is going to be completely against everybody else. I think Zack Ryder's going to be the
Woo, woo, woo. That's what I'm talking about. Now, who's going to take the first big bump, though?
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder again. All right. Yeah, trust me, I'm a broski. I love Zack Ryder. I've always been a fan of him since he started out. I feel like he should have another big push into the main roster, but I don't think they're going to do that yet. They're waiting for Mojo to get himself straightened out. Let's move towards the street fight. Now, we all know street fights can get messy. They can get crazy. My favorite street fight has to be back when they had them get into a car, drive out away from the arena, come back, what was it, like almost 30 minutes later, back into the arena to continue the street fight. That's right. See, and that was such a great one. But let's go ahead. Ambrose is again doing a street fight, this time against the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And yes, I will be having my drinking game with Paul Heyman talking his mouth about Brock Lesnar, I promise you. Who's going to win this match? Alex, go ahead.
I'm going Lesnar on this.
Going for the Beast. All right. And then, of course, Jacob, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Dean. I don't like Brock at all. He's working. He only works like a pay-per-view schedule. I want Dean to win this one.
Going for Lunatic. All right. Taylor?
I'm going with the Lunatic. He deserves it. He's super over. Honestly, I even go as far as saying he's more over than Reigns.
You know, and my wife would probably agree with you. She likes both of them, but she has really gotten to become a big Ambrose fan. Robby.
I'm going to say Ambrose because the guy has a chainsaw, a baseball bat, and a barbed wire. We're not going to be seeing him cut off Brock Lesnar's arm or anything.
No.
It's still pretty cool. I think the Wyatt family is going to help him win.
Really?
At the Royal Rumble, and I think in Extreme Rules we're going to see Lesnar versus Wyatt in some sort of different match.
Huh. I didn't even think about it. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going for Ambrose only because Ambrose amuses me. Like I've told everybody, when you're messing with Priest, I'm not for the good guys. I'm not for the bad guys. I'm for the side of entertainment. Whatever entertains me, I'm going to go for it. And Ambrose, beyond a shadow of a doubt, entertains me. Now, because...
I have a side question here.
Yeah.
Who thought it was the funniest promo cut in a while when Dean Ambrose came out with his wagon? Didn't you make eye contact?
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Like no older little red wax.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
But the PG version of Pentagon Jr., he shows no fear.
You know, I believe it was Brent Dunn who said this, and I still agree with him, that Ambrose is like today's version of Brian Pillman. And I think that's a very good analogy.
That's a good one, yeah.
So, let's continue, though, real quick. Because this, they both can pin. They both have done submissions before, but, we know that Lesnar loves to try to break somebody's arm out of its whole socket and everything else. Dean loves his dirty deeds. Pin or submission, what's going to be the decisive act? Alex, start us off.
I think pin.
Pinfall, all right.
Yeah.
Mr. Leach.
I'm going pinfall for two reasons. One, because I've never seen anyone tap out for anything Dean Ambrose has ever done.
Yeah.
And two, because it's Brock Lesnar. You don't see Brock Lesnar tapping out.
Not often, no. What about for you, Jacob? What do you think?
I see Dean Ambrose doing dirty deeds on the barbed wire baseball bat.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. I like it. Taylor.
Pinfall. I think he's gonna hit the dirty deeds on the chair.
All right, doing the chair and getting the pin, huh? I'm going to say pinfall. I'm not going to say it's going to be, dirty deeds or whatever. I'm not going to make that big of an assumption yet. But I am going to say it is definitely going to be a pinfall. Now, moving to the next question, it's about how many suplexes is the Beast going to unleash? I'm going with a total of 15, boys and girls. I'm going to give him that many suplexes. Alex, what do you feel?
Yeah, I was gonna try to go around north of 15. I think this is gonna be, I don't want to say a squash match, but I think Lesnar's gonna beat the crap out of Ambrose, and he just won't go down. I think it's gonna be Ambrose kicking out of a ton until it hits maybe even 19.
Going for 19.
Can't get up.
Good God, I don't even think I can I mean, I've been in the ring for a little bit of training back in the day, and I could only probably do maybe 2 or 3 suplexes from, I got thrown around by Gavin Alexander. And so, I mean, those of you guys who know him, he's a big guy, and I mean, he was one who actually helped me learn to take a lot of bumps, but somebody like a monster like Brock, 19, oh my goodness. Jacob, what do you think, man?
Lucky number 7.
Lucky 7. I like that phrase. Good man. Taylor.
I'm going polar opposite of Jacob. I'm going unlucky 13.
All right. And all right, Mr. Leach.
You know, I agree with that. He's doing
13 suplexes. Holy cow. This is going to be one heck of a match already. I can feel it in my bones. But let's get to the next part. Now, this is going to be the big thing right here. We have the unique foreign objects, because this is where Dean shines more than Brock. How many unique foreign objects do you see coming into that match? I'm going with 8. The great old Ocho isn't what I'm thinking. What do you think there, Mr. Analyst?
I'm going to go with 3. We're going to see, of course, that baseball bat. Probably maybe a fire extinguisher. Maybe that good old TV that cost Dean Ambrose's match against Bray Wyatt about a year ago.
And what about for you, Jacob?
The Robby is going to take 3.
Going with 3 only, huh? All right. Alex?
Go just 5.
5. Only 5. I think I'm the only one who's highballing it. What about you, Taylor?
I'm gonna agree with Alex. I'm saying 5.
All right. Well, I'll highball it and see what happens. Hopefully my 8 makes it, but we'll see. All I know is that is going to be one hell of a match. I'm telling you right now. Let's go ahead and go to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns versus Triple H. This has gotten so personal, so gruesome. Who do you think's going to win this? Alex, why don't you start me off on this?
I think Reigns has it. I think it's time to put this to bed.
Taylor?
I'm saying Reigns.
Okay. Jacob?
All because of you using the same exact storyline as WrestleMania 30 with Daniel Bryan. I think you're going to do Roman Reigns. Try to get him over.
All right. And Mr. Analyst, Robert Leach?
We're going to do Roman Reigns. I'm going to go out on a win. We're going to say the possible reunion of a certain 3-man stable entitled the Shield.
That would be interesting. And the only reason why I say it's going to be interesting is because I was really wrestling with this one, to be honest with you, who I think is going to win. I want Roman to win. And so that's who I'm going for. That's who I'm predicting. But I also had in the back of my mind, what would be great for story purposes is if Triple H was to win this one, and as he's celebrating, out walks Seth Rollins with a mic, pointing right at Triple H and goes, "That belongs to me." And that sets up for the next big title match, Seth Rollins trying to reclaim his belt. And we have the inner feud between those guys who once were buddies, just like they had before with Shield. Now, of course, this is going to be an easy question. I'm sure all of us are going to say the same thing. Is there going to be interference? What do you think, Jacob?
Without a doubt.
Taylor?
No doubt, there will be.
Alex?
Yeah, there's got to be.
Okay, Robby?
Of course, I just said Shield.
Well, yeah, I gotta have the official right here. You know, I'm agreeing that there's going to be interference. I don't think it's going to be the Shield so much, but look at all the goons that Triple H has at his access. He has a League of Nations. He has so many different people. He pretty much, the best way I can describe it, because I've been watching a lot of the older shows, older episodes, older pay-per-views. 2006, Vince McMahon had the Spirit Squad, and I feel like the League of Nations is Triple H's Spirit Squad right now. So there's a little analogy for you on that part.
There was no Spirit Squad. There was no Dolph Ziggler.
I don't know how to respond to that because I know that's true and I hate to admit it, but yeah, you got a point. All right, so from bell to bell, are we going to go over 20 minutes? And I mean, seriously, it has to hit 20:01 to count, guys. Jacob.
Yeah, with all the people interfering, I think the Rock's of course going to interfere.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that too. I'm going to agree with you on that one. So
The Rock. I think Shawn Michaels is going to come out for Triple H. And, yeah, it's not going to go over 20 minutes.
all right, Alex.
Yeah, I think they can both work it.
Taylor.
Yeah, I see it going over 20.
Robby.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you guys. This is going to be one of the few matches here that's easily going to go over 20 minutes. And it's going to easily go over 20 minutes without losing the interest of the fans, which is the most important thing for any wrestler. So I really think that this one's going to easily go over 20 minutes on this one. Now, we just had somebody bring it up, so we're going to skip my next match real quick just to ask this thing of, what do you guys think Rock's role will be in WrestleMania 32? I believe it was Jacob who said the same thing that I'm thinking, which is that he's going to come out to help Roman Reigns. What do you think, Taylor?
Yeah, I think he's going to come out to help Reigns. But does anybody else see Reigns possibly turning on The Rock?
I don't think so. Not yet. I think that with his fury and everything else, he may not turn on blood yet, but I could see it after he gets the belt and becomes corrupted. What do you think, Jacob? Not only, I believe you're the one who said that he'd help out Roman Reigns, but do you think that Taylor may be onto something?
I think he might be onto something. I think he might be able to set up the pay-per-view match probably the next 3-4 months, maybe.
Okay. And what about for you, Mr. Leach?
The Rock role, I think it could be interfering in the main event. Either that or something with the New Day.
All right. And Mr. Alex?
I was going to basically say the same thing. I think maybe he'd do something with the New Day, but then come back out later to interfere with the main event.
Okay, so you think his big role is going to be the main event with helping Roman?
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like we're all pretty much on the same page with that one. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. I mean, the Samoans always watch each other's backs, so, I mean, that's going to be it. But let's go ahead and we'll move back up on the little game sheet here and talk about the one match that I'm looking forward to this match more than anything else on the card. It is the Hell in a Cell, Shane McMahon versus Undertaker. Before we talk about the match, let's talk about what led to this match. Okay, Vince McMahon was going to give his daughter Stephanie the Vincent J. McMahon Legacy Award, and then Shane showed up. How much did you guys just lose your cool? And I don't want to say lose your cool. I can't cuss here. I'm trying to keep it clean. How much did you guys go bananas, as Bobby Heenan would say, when you saw Shane O'Mac return to the wrestling world? Alex.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was nuts.
Yeah, I loved it. I was hyped. I really was. Jacob, what did you feel?
Honestly, I didn't think that WWE could set up the bar any higher after AJ Styles debuting at WrestleMania. But at Royal Rumble. But when Shane McMahon came out, it was insane.
It was wild. Taylor, how did you feel about it?
I was actually at work when it happened. So
Oh no!
I got off. So as soon as I got home, I went on YouTube and I couldn't believe it.
You had the spoiler alert happen, didn't you?
Yep.
Oh, man, I feel for you. I'd be so mad if I had that spoiled for me. Okay, Mr. Leach, I know you're probably the youngest of us all, and you probably didn't grow up watching Shane O'Mac, but how do you feel about it?
I flipped out. I was doing my Facebook Live reaction and I'm having talking, just babbling on as I do. And I just look and I see the word Shane McMahon on the mini chat, and I just flipped out.
Yeah, it was definitely, it was one of those things, even my wife was probably kind of looking at me weird. My wife's not big in wrestling like I am. She got into it thanks to me and everything else, but when she saw me getting all excited about that, she kind of gave me this, like, why are you excited about this guy? And I had to explain to her what's so cool about it. But, I mean, this was a great thing, and it led up to a great situation. It really did. The whole thing now is that if Shane wins, he gets control of Raw. Not SmackDown, but Raw, which still is one of the biggest, most powerful parts of the WWE. And if he loses, this information or whatever he has that's hanging over his dad's head, the possessions, the secrets, all that, he has to relinquish those. The other big thing on top of this is that if The Undertaker loses to Shane McMahon, he no longer works for the WWE, according to Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So, with all that craziness going on, with it being WrestleMania, which is The Undertaker's yard, with it being Hell in a Cell, which is Undertaker's domain, who do you think is going to win this one? Mr. Analyst, let me go ahead and have you start this with your wisdom.
Oh, geez. Well, let's see. I've heard the word,
Goldberg.
and I think Undertaker's going to win either way.
Going for the dead man. All right. Mr. Jacob.
I see, just because it's my first WrestleMania, and I've always wanted to see Undertaker live, even though I said that, I would love to see, Shane take control of Raw, so I'm going to say Shane.
All right. Alex.
Go Taker.
Going for the dead man. All right. And, of course, we have Mr. Taylor. What do you feel, buddy?
I'm going Shane.
All right, well, I'm going to be the tiebreaker, it looks like, and I'm going to go for my guy Shane O'Mac. As much as I love having the dead man around, as much as I'm a big fan of the dead man, I feel like it is time for him to step down and work more behind the scenes like he is really good at doing. And even though Vince will fire him, doesn't mean that Shane can't rehire him. Remember that.
Yep.
So, let's just saying this is that I think that Shane's going to get it. Plus, besides that, let's look at the reality of this, and I'm just going to go on a tangent here real quick. The injury list is almost as large as the current active roster list is. They need to split the brands again so they can try to not have these guys working as much and not cause as much injury. They need to split the brands to keep it interesting and get money flowing better than it used to. Because back when it was SmackDown versus Raw, and they had the general managers facing each other off and trying to see who can one up the other, it was money for them. It was almost as much money for the WWE as the Monday Night Wars was for both WWE and WCW. So I really do believe that Shane's going to get it for that reason right there. Now, with that being said, who is going to interfere? Name at least one person. The main person you think is going to be the key interference, but you can name others if you want. Alex, go ahead.
I don't think there's interference in this.
Really?
I don't think Taker could lose to interference. That'd be too big of a letdown. Watch him lose at WrestleMania because somebody interfered.
You don't think there's going to be interference to try to mess up Shane, though?
I think maybe Vince will come down, but I don't think he'll do much.
Taylor.
I think the main person is going to be the Icon thing.
Going for the Icon. Holy cow. Okay, you're playing some tough cards there.
Record saying he will not retire until he gets his match with Taker.
Well, and this could be the thing to push that. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You got a point. Jacob.
I got a kudos to stealing my thunder. Yeah, Butchers too. I think it's gonna be Vince and Sting. Sting he's always had his problem with the authority, so I think he's gonna attack the Undertaker. One, try to get a match from him, and two, try to get the authority out of style.
See, here's my thing. I'm mainly going to say that Vince is going to get involved because Vince has so much at stake here. But, Vince did the biggest cardinal sin, in my opinion, which was he actually agreed with Shane and called Undertaker his B word. And you don't do that with the dead man. So I can see Vince interfering, and then Undertaker pretty much attacking Vince, giving Vince the fingers, so to speak, and letting Shane win. I can see that happening. Mr. Leach.
No, there will not be any interference in this match.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and let you pick up this next question real quick. Who's going to bleed first? Hell in a Cell is always known about blood. Who's going to bleed first?
Oh, bleeding first is going to be Shane.
All right. Mr. Jacob, who's going to bleed first?
Almost past battles, and I think it's going to be Undertaker.
Taker's going to bleed, huh? All right. Taylor.
I'm going Shane.
Going Shane-O. All right, Alex.
Yeah, Shano.
I'm gonna agree. Shane O'Mac is gonna bleed first. I'm not gonna say the Taker won't bleed because Taker will bleed, but to give Undertaker that powerful, dominant persona, Shane's gonna be the first one to bleed. Now, here's one that I really want to see what everybody thinks of because we all know that Shane's history is huge with doing crazy dives, crazy stunts. Coast to coast, jumping from the top of the Titantron. The guy's done so many crazy, stupid things, which is what made him so famous. He was reckless and never say die type of attitude. Will Shane do a suicide dive off the top of the cell? Alex.
I think he's going to do something big. So yeah, I think he's going to go for it.
All right. I personally think that he won't because now he has kids, a family, everything else to think about and care about. I don't think he'll do it, but I can respect what you're saying there because I want to put it past him, definitely. Robert, what do you think?
I do think Shane is going to jump off of the top of the cell and maybe put Undertaker through a table.
And now we got Mr. Jacob.
He's not going to jump off the cell. I think he's doing a second match up.
And then Taylor.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Jacob. I don't see him jumping off the cell, but I do see him doing some crazy bump.
All right. Now, since we did talk about jumping off the top of the cell, I mean, that's all the questions for the matches. We only have, the guest appearance things, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. But just a little fun little bonus thing I want to ask everybody. One thing that we've always seen in every pay-per-view, and almost now in almost every Raw or SmackDown, the commentator table always gets destroyed, especially in a pay-per-view. It's almost like a guaranteed stable for a good pay-per-view. What match is going to destroy the commentator table first? And it doesn't matter if it's the Spanish or the English table. Which commentator table... Oh, not which match is going to destroy a commentator table first? Alex.
I think it might make it all the way to Ambrose Lesnar.
Really? You think it's going to survive that long? If it does, I will be impressed. I will say that much. Jacob.
I'm going to agree with Alex. It's going to stand on Lesnar and Ambrose. All
right. Taylor.
I think just because they're going before the two main events, I think I'm going to agree it's going to survive till Dean and Brock.
Mr. Leach.
I say it's going to be what I believe will be the opening match in the 7-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match.
Ah, there you go. And see, I'm going to go with the Dudley versus the Usos. I see the commentator table for the Spanish team being destroyed on that match. That'll be the first commentator table to be destroyed. Now, I will say that when it comes to the street fight, that's when the English table will probably be destroyed. But the first commentator table will be during the Usos and the Dudleys. So, now to the final part, boys and girls. And then we got, of course, everything all figured out on this card and this little game sheet. There's been a lot of rumors of different guest appearances outside of The Rock to make it to WrestleMania 32, but none of them have really been confirmed like The Rock. We have Steve Austin, we have Cesaro, Kurt Angle, John Cena, Hulk Hogan, Bayley, Mick Foley, Seth Rollins, Ronda Rousey, Finn Balor, Randy Orton, and of course CM Punk. Out of that list of 12 people, I want you to tell me who of those 12 do you think actually will make a guest appearance? Alex, kick us off.
I think Austin and Foley definitely. I hope to see Cena and Rollins as well.
Mr. Jacob.
I'm gonna say Austin definitely. I think Shawn Michaels is gonna be there. Just going out on a limb on this one. I really hope I see him. I want Kurt Angle to be there.
All right, so you're going with Austin and Angle from our list of 12, huh?
Yep.
And Taylor from our list of 12.
I can see Orton, Austin, and as much as I would absolutely hate to see it, I can see Cena showing up and ruining the pay-per-view.
And then Mr. Analyst Robert Leach. Let's see what you have to say.
I forgot the paper at home. We're in the car right now, but I'm going to go ahead and say Mick Foley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and I can see Rollins showing up too.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, and Shawn Michaels.
All right. Well, Shawn's not on the game sheet, but I do think it's a good possibility. Well, because he's Mr. WrestleMania, so it's almost a given there. But as for me, I actually have a big list here. Of course, you're going to see Austin. Austin is from Texas. That's his home, so he's going to be around. I would not be surprised if we do see the Swiss Superman make a return at WrestleMania, not to mention Randy Orton. I think it'd be cool to see Rollins make an appearance, even if he doesn't do anything but just make an appearance to let himself be seen, because, you know, he should be almost close to fully healed by now. Mick Foley, you gotta love Mick, so I'm sure he'll be around for the street fight. You can't have the street fight without the crazy old Mick Foley. I think that my girl Bayley will make some type of appearance. It may not be during a match. It may be after a match when she congratulates whoever wins the Triple Threat Divas match. And there's been talk about it, so I'm going to go with it as a wild shot. But I'm going to say Hulk Hogan may even make his presence known. Who knows? It's a very slim chance, but I'm going to take that very slim % chance on that one.
And if I can, on that note that you just said, with the whole Bayley thing, I think you would possibly come out and challenge whoever wins.
You know what? If she does, I would be very happy, because that girl deserves it. She is incredible. But then again, I have the shirt, I'm a hugger, and tomorrow I'm going to be wearing my Natalia shirt, so it'll be all good.
Going with you on that one, Freeze. You know, the triple threat match, there's only one of the four women missing from that.
You know, and that's what actually I was hoping they were going to do. I think Mr. Leach is the one who said it originally on the last pay-per-view prediction panel, of having it where it was going to be, instead of a triple threat, it was going to be a fatal four with all four horsewomen. So, I mean, I would love to see Bayley show up, even if it's just to, you know, congratulate and then turn around and challenge. You know, I love Bayley. She's the girl next door. You can't help but love her. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our game sheet. That is us with the card. This has been incredible. I am looking forward to tomorrow more than anything. And not to mention, now that I have your guys' predictions, I have them actually penciled down. And I'm going to keep track of this. I'm going to see which of us gets the most points out of the five of us. and make sure I make a little fun, little back and forth with it. Ultimately, though, I do want to thank my guest today. Alex Sherman, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you, and I'm glad that you are one of our listeners and fallen angels. So thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. Taylor Phoenix, thank you so much. And I know I'm going to butcher this again, but Jacob Misner?
Yep.
Hey, I got it right. Both of you guys, thank you so much. Right now, I say this is the most affection, but I hate you both so much because you both are down there to WrestleMania. Make sure you take pictures. Make sure you guys have a great time. I hate you so much, but definitely enjoy that WrestleMania moment.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, of course, it's going to be a great time, as always. I always enjoy having this guy around. Mr. Analyst, Robert Leach, thank you for joining us once again for the prediction panel.
Thanks for having me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the prediction panel for the Sleeper Hole podcast with WrestleMania 32, the greatest show out of the year for the WWE. I want to thank you all for listening. I want to again thank my fans for being around and my guests for being on the prediction panel. Remember, be safe. Have a great time watching it tomorrow. Thank you so much. This is the Priest signing out.
Thank you for listening to the Sleeper Hold podcast. Don't forget to visit our website at thesleeperhold.com to comment on episodes, read our blog, find information about our quarterly charity, and more. See you next week.